I thought that you would get a better Aaron Nola upon his return from the injured list. And his first start out against the Nationals after 3 months off wasn't great. And you kind of can build in excuses for that. There was some encouraging stuff in that second start against Washington. He went 6 innings. He only allowed 2 earned runs, pitched out of some trouble. Then the third start, we can kind of sugarcoat it and say, well, it got off to a rocky start, and then he calmed down and gave you 6 innings, and that's all fine and well. But he got off to a terrible start in that game against the Braves. Then the Phillies go on to score 19 runs. It's more of the same against the Brewers this week. Another horrible first inning where he just looks totally ill-prepared for the start of the game. Then he settles down a little bit and ends up giving you 15 outs. But you look up and it's 5 innings, 6 earned. It just hasn't looked very good. And these last 2 starts specifically, Anthony, 11 innings pitched, 10 hits, 10 earned runs, 2 homers allowed, 5 walks, 10 strikeouts. It's an 8.18 ERA. As we get into September here, we're looking for him to string together 2 or 3 starts in a row where you say, that's my guy in the playoffs. I can break up my lefties with him. Right now, he's not giving you any indication that he can be that guy. He just doesn't look very good.
Yeah, it's weird, Bob. And the things that are going wrong with Aaron Nola are not the typical things that go wrong with Aaron Nola. That's what's so concerning with this is, Nola is a guy who usually makes mistakes and then pays for them. This is lack of command. Like his stuff is there. He can't command his fastball right now. And he's walking guys. He hit a batter. And yeah, he settle? He even settled into the Milwaukee game, right? I mean, after the first 5 batters, but all 5 of them scored, right? And even if you're looking at it, he walked a guy, hit a batter, gave up a clean single, gave up a bloop single, and then gave up a home run. Like, can't have that happen. And then he settles down and he's fine the rest of the game. Like, it's like, okay, where was that in the first inning? And it's the same thing with the Braves. The Braves game, it was very similar. Like, no fastball command early. He put runners on base, had some traffic, gave up 3 runs. The Braves ran out of that inning, or else it would have been worse. And then he settled down the rest of the game, and he was fine. So I think that's the only reason why Rob Thompson sits there after the game and goes, oh, I have utter confidence in Knowles. He's going to figure it out. He's done it before. Remember 23, same thing. He was struggling, and then he figured it out at the end of the year and gave us some good starts, and then went into the playoffs and was really good. He's not wrong. That's exactly what happened. But these are different problems for Aaron Nola right now than what he usually has. Like, he's not a guy who struggles with command. And this is a command problem that if he can't rectify it, he's not worth using.
All right, so I guess there's 2 different ways to look at this. Moving forward, he has 4 starts left to basically show that
it's about right.
He can be a guy in October. I guess I would ask you at this point, I can't ask you, like, what do you expect out of him in the next 4 starts? You don't know. I don't know. But I guess what we can talk about is what would we need to see from him over the next 4 starts to change their approach in the postseason right now in terms of how they line up this rotation? Because to me, I think he's on the outside looking in right now, and I don't think he's a bullpen option either. And I think he's a good guy and would understand if you left him off the playoff roster. But, man, wouldn't that be something if you ended up leaving Aaron Nola off a playoff roster?
Yeah, it would be. It absolutely would be. And so the way I look at it, Bob, is that I think that he's going to be given every opportunity here to keep that spot. Like, if you ask me today, I still think he's in that position, right? I'm going to take you back to 23 because it's really kind of funny because it was almost to the day. They played in Milwaukee in the first week of September in 2023, and Nola went out and gave up 7 earned, 8 hits, 3 walks. I
remember that game. I bet you if you go back and look at tweets and text messages and things like that from that night, you'd be like, he's cooked. He's screwed.
Yeah, he was, and his his ERA at the time was 4.55.
His ERA was 6.7.
Yeah, well, I mean, the difference was a full season versus partial season, right? But then his next start out, he gave up 4. It was against the Marlins, believe it or not. Although he's not going to pitch against the Marlins, his next start's going to be against the Mets. But is 4 1/3, 4 runs, again, was not good. Then it was his last 3 starts. Because at that point, after that Marlins start, it was like, can you even use this guy in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Then his last 3 starts at St. Louis, at the Braves, who were a good team. The Phillies ended up playing him in the playoffs. And then the clincher to clinch the playoff spot against the Pirates. He goes, the game against the Cardinals, it was only 4 2/3. We only gave up 2 earned runs. It was kind of like, okay, figured something out. The Braves, 6 innings, 2 runs. The Pirates, 6 2/3, 1 run, and then he's into the playoffs. So I think it's kind of the same trajectory. If he does this, the same thing he did in 23, then I think he'll start one of those games. If he continues to pitch as he has the last few starts, where he's given up runs in the first inning and he has no fastball command, then no, he's not going to start in the playoffs.
All right, let me take this a step further. We talked about on Monday the addition of Walker Buehler, who we will see pitch in a little over a week. He's here for a reason, and I think that the expectation is that he could potentially help you out of the bullpen because of the experience and the big game nature, and he has a little bit of a flair for the dramatic, and so great. Do you think that there's a scenario where, especially in the event that they would have to use a 4-man rotation, if Aaron Nola cannot show that he is good enough to trust in October, that you would still like that you would go to a guy like Walker Buehler? Like, I mean, Noah Syndergaard pitched in the postseason for the 2022 Phillies, and like he wasn't exactly a guy that inspired a ton of confidence. Like, could they just go veteran, take the ball? Like, let's just roll on that experience and like, yeah, I guess what I'm really asking you here is Walker Buehler a potential factor as a postseason starter for this team?
Possibly. I mean, there's a lot of unknown right now. There's just really is a lot of unknown. I'll tell you another name that no one's talking about, Bob, that I find interesting. And I don't know if there's enough time. But the one guy who no one talks about that the Phillies traded for at the deadline was Matt Manning, who they got from Detroit. And made his first start for the organization, I think it was Saturday, whatever day it was. It was over the weekend. Pitched at Reading. Only threw 2 innings, struck out 5 guys in 2 innings, and that was it. I don't know. Like, is that another possibility? Are they kind of under the radaring that a little bit? Like, why do you trade for a guy with 4 years of major league experience, kind of work with him for a little bit, and then, okay, his first start is at Reading, right? Like, what is the purpose of adding that guy?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the obvious omission in this conversation is Taijuan Walker, but I don't want to. We're not going to I'm not trying to be cute. I'm not trying to take digs at the guy. He's a non-factor for me.
He's going to be a long man in the playoffs.
He's not a guy that you're going to look at to start a postseason game. So to me,
he'll be on the roster, but he won't start. Yeah.
So if you need so there's 2 different ways to look at this. If you only need 3, are you going all 3 lefties right now? And if you need 4. It is in this moment. Who do you think the most likely person is to be that 4th guy? I know you said they're going to give Nola every opportunity. You can't, with a straight face right now, say that you expect him to grab the bull by the horns.
No,